We're ready, Mayor.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out on this beautiful spring day. Adequate notice of the meeting of the Lawrence Township Council being held on Tuesday, April 15, 2025, has been provided through the posting of the annual meeting schedule of said council in accordance with Section 13 of the Open Public Meetings Act. Said notice was forwarded to the Trentonian, the Times, and the Princeton Packet on December 19, 2024. Just a happy reminder that today is tax day, April 15th. Yeah. And just wanted to just give a brief inspiration. Now is the time in spring for a symbol of hope, renewal, and new life, offering a chance for reflection and celebration with family. I just want to take this moment to thank the Recreation Department and the Police Department for the beautiful Easter egg hunt that took place this past Saturday. It was an honor to attend, but more important, to see the young children enjoy such a joyous occasion. So, thank you. And now, Madam Clerk, if you could have the inspiration.
May we carry out our work at this meeting in a just, honorable, and sincere manner, always bearing in mind our duties and continuing to keep Lawrence a wonderful community in which to live. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Robin cannot be with us this evening. Mr. Kanaki?
Here.
Ms. Perry?
Here.
Mr. Ryan cannot be with us as well. And Mayor Farmer.
Here. Thank you. And now we will have a special presentation. We will start, let me make an amendment to the agenda. Councilwoman Perry, if you wanted to just address the fire study, will not be here this evening.
Yes, I apologize. The Public Safety Subcommittee report will not happen this evening because unfortunately the presenter has the flu. We will continue and it will be presented at the first meeting in May.
Thank you. In its place, we will have a presentation by the Mayor's Task Force, an update by Martha Friend, who is the Secretary of the Task Force.
Good evening. Sorry, came right from work, apologies. So this is the progress report to the Town Council and the Manager, submitted by the Mayor's Task Force on the future of the Lawrence Community Center, and of course to the public. I am the Secretary, and leadership, Ms. Williams is the Chair, and our Task Force members, Olga Martinez, Zia Spaulding, Jeffrey Vamos, Heather Berman, Louisa Robinson, and Nancy Rivera. Good evening, Mayor Farmer, members of the Council, and Manager Nowinski. I'm here to provide an update on behalf of the Mayor's Task Force regarding resolution number 346-24 about the future use of the Lawrence Community Center. To review, the Community Center Task Force was established to advise Council of the concerns of the residents of Lawrence Township, address the mission statement and future vision of the center, engage the community, ensuring the decisions made reflect the needs of the Lawrence Township community, and preserve the center's legacy for all the residents of Lawrence Township. Since the adoption of the resolution, the task force has worked hard to develop an inclusive community engagement strategy. Our focus has been on ensuring that all voices are heard. As a reminder to the public, our task force is to collect information from all Lawrence residents, at least all who care to share, on the future use of the Lawrence Community Center so that our final report might reflect the needs of the entire community. To facilitate this process, we've planned a community engagement meeting, May 13th, at the Lawrence High School cafeteria. This meeting is open to the public. I'll say that again, open to the public, and begins at 6:30 for a historical overview of the center, with the public conversation starting at 7. Flyers will be in the back of the room for all in attendance and will be disseminated to the community via print and digitally and however we can. In addition to planning this public meeting to ensure we have feedback from as many residents as possible, we're working to finalize and distribute a community survey to collect qualitative and quantitative data on preferred uses for the center. I'm happy to report that the survey is ready as of today. So on the back of each meeting flyer, at least here tonight, we just quickly printed it out and we encourage all residents to use it. So we have a QR code and then we have a rather long URL, sorry about that, that you just type into your browser. In our efforts to get input from the most Lawrence residents, we plan to use all possible outreach strategies. Print media, digital media, local organizations sharing with their members, and even radio. In fact, there was a recent radio interview on 92.9 with 3 of our task force members highlighting the upcoming public meeting. Our task force is even meeting with the Recreation Department Committee to ensure their voices are heard, as this is a group of committed volunteers who work with the Rec Department staff to create programming for the community. If members of the public, the manager, council members have any other suggestions for how to engage as many members of the public as possible, please reach out to Mayor Farmer, who will share it with the task force. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Frank, for that detailed update. And thank you to the task force for all of the work, the hard work that they're doing to make this a reality for our community here in Lawrence. And now we will have, coming up, will be Housing Growth and Development Committee, Melissa Clark. She will talk with us.
Good evening, Town Council and our mayor and our manager and our lawyer and our clerk. My name is Melissa Clark. I am the Growth Redevelopment Chairperson for the past 3 years. And we've been trying our monthly meetings. We've been discussing different things. We have a networking event coming up on April 30th at the municipal building. The library. And that's going to be at 5:45. And we have some keynotes and some people just kind of doing some networking opportunities. So this will be our second time doing that. But we're looking to actually add a student representative. I'm an educator in the town, and I see that we have one in our Lawrence Township Board of Education, and I've been bringing it up at our meeting, and everybody seems to be very much on board. So Councilwoman Perry and I have been discussing what this might look like, and basically what we're come up with, it's the application is a Google form, because all the kids are on Google and anyway, and it's going to be open to anybody that's currently in 9th grade through 11th grade. We did say Lawrence High School, but it is open to any Lawrence resident that is in those grades. So if maybe they go to Notre Dame or maybe they go to the prep school, as long as they're a Lawrence resident, they can apply. We're hoping we get a lot of kids applying, and then we would kind of read through the applications. There's a couple of people that are interested in being on the committee to interview the person. We don't want to intimidate the child. We don't want 20 of them. So we have some core members that are interested in interviewing. Potentially maybe 3 to 5 students. And some of the questions out there are like, what can they do to help out with in like small business? How can they help with our networking events? How can they just help organize and also to give them a voice? They will not vote though in this. We only have a handful of people that vote on the committee, so they would not be a voting member. And I've already handed out the application. I think it looks pretty good. We talked about it at last week's meeting. And we would hope to set out the application for May so that we could start interviews for June and then have somebody in for the summer to get started. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you. I think it's a marvelous idea. Anytime that we can engage young people in the process, specifically civics, I think it's a tremendous idea. As you mentioned, the school district added a school member, and also the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee has a student representative as well.
Oh, awesome. Maybe I'll have to check in with them and find out how they do it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So we hope that you guys will accept this and this can pass tonight in your meeting. I see it's later in your agenda, so it would be awesome to kind of get that moving forward. I already have the application already in the email, so thank you.
Thank you, Melissa.
Okay, that concludes our presentations. We will now have the first opportunity for public participation for the 5 minutes.
Eric Village. Good evening, council and residents. I wanted to make it a point to come up here to speak first because I feel that a lot of us are here for the same purpose. I see people from Colonial Heights, Colonial Lakelands, West Long Drive, representatives of the neighborhoods along the Shabakunk Creek, and I've gotten to know a lot of these people through attending these contentious meetings. And while it may seem like everyone is here for their own pet issue that's affecting their own neighborhood, it's clear that there is a unifying thread, though nobody has been brave enough to state what it really is until today. Redlining. I say that word knowing the full weight of the history behind it. This is serious, this is disturbing, but it is real. Lawrence Township, through the leadership of its manager and the eager support of numerous, but not all council members, both past and present, have instituted a policy of redlining. And it is the crux of nearly every major issue that has come before this body in recent memory. The line itself coalesces around 295 and intersects at Route 1. You can draw it on a map and it speaks for itself. Trenton Block, where public land was allowed to be used for private profit. Colonial Lake, where residents are reduced to begging our town to protect its prized trees, while the town celebrates local businesses that damage them. RPM, where shady developers shrug and say, we're not forcing anyone to live there. Above the red line, north of 295, developers at 3131 were encouraged to ignore the town's affordable housing obligations so they could build luxury condos on pristine land for easy money. And finally, West Long Drive, where residents had to fight tooth and nail for basic due process and transparency, all on behalf of protecting the public safety of our entire township. All of these cases create a pattern. All of the strife, strain, and pain that community members have felt over these issues can be traced back to the seemingly intentional redlining of our town by developers, with their hands being held every step of the way by our township manager and community development director. These are strong words, and behind them are strong data, strong arguments, and strong circumstances. I raised this issue with Councilman Kanaki and Bobbitt at a recent meeting of the Lawrence Township Democratic Committee, which I am vice chair of. I pointed out that open source data indicates that the township maintains a policy of arbitrarily and capriciously enforcing residential codes such as grass height and brush collection, while allowing businesses to blatantly violate the town's land use ordinances. We all know that Trenton Block is not the only example where we see township property being used for free by a for-profit entity. Councilman Bobbitt's response was dismissive, saying that something like that couldn't be true because the West Long neighborhood complains about code enforcement the most. Though some time ago in another conversation, he did admit that he thought Kevin Nerwinski effed up regarding Trenton Block.
Okay.
But I'm here to talk about RPM, which was the first harbinger of the callousness that this red line has imposed on our community. We're not forcing anyone to live here, said Kevin Cavanaugh, Vice President of Development at RPM during a Lawrence Township zoning board meeting. Apparently, some local leaders support that attitude. The township appropriated dollars in support of that attitude. And voting tonight on Resolution 175 is support for that attitude. You'll be told to rush to get this passed, that this is a formality, that it's part of an already finished process. But ask yourself, then why does it need your advice and consent? Why is it at the request of RPM? It sounds like it's to help RPM. After all, they made this request of you. They want you to say to your residents, we're not forcing you to live there. It is antithetical to the Mount Laurel decision, which was decided to prevent exactly this kind of project. Developers are powerful. We need to be able to say no. And it starts with saying no to this small but unnecessary resolution. I know I'll get pushback from the manager. He'll tell me I'm wrong. He'll say I don't understand, I'm mistaken, or misrepresented. Ask yourself, would you live at RPM? Would you let your kids? Do you even know enough about the project to even make that decision? You don't. I promise you don't. The manager serves you, and you can say no to him. If you can't say no to him, then something is deeply wrong. You don't know enough about this project. It goes deep. When you dive in, there's a huge appearance of impropriety that should have stopped this a long time ago. But it didn't, largely because of certain individuals in this room. You deserve to know the truth, and I hope that you're curious enough to know the truth.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips. I would have to disagree with you that our meetings are not contentious. I would say they are democracy at work. I think that all of the residents have a right to express their concerns and their opinion, and we're here to listen. So I don't believe that our meetings are contentious. I believe that we are here to serve the public, to listen, and you have a right to your voice. I do not agree necessarily with maybe everything that you said, and as is right, redlining is a very strong word, very strong word. So we take your comments at face value, and obviously we are doing our diligence in terms of the work that we're doing. So thank you, and so it's a project for affordable housing on Texas Avenue. By Lawrence Shopping Center.
Madam Mayor,
Sure.
Eric, Chris ain't here tonight to respond to F up. And I can't believe you would say that.
It's on a recording.
It is recorded.
Yes.
Okay, he will hear it.
Okay.
I cannot believe you would say that about Chris Bobbitt.
He said it. I was quoting him.
He's not here. If
Understood.
he was here, I would be questioning him right now,
Okay.
just like I did tonight at the
I understand.
library with you.
I understand.
Thank you for
Okay,
your comment.
that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
They're on the.
Good evening, Rick Flynn, Lawrence resident. If you have been attending the township meetings for the last few years, whether it be council or land use meetings, one thing is for sure, that the two biggest issues were the Trenton Block saga and the RPM land use approval. If you attended Trenton Block meetings, you heard valid arguments that there was convincing evidence of conflicts of interest and selective code enforcement by the administration. If you attended any RPM hearings, you witnessed board members being coaxed by the developer and the township professionals that they had to approve the project, no matter how bad the design was for the environment or its future residents. But the biggest unanswered question is about RPM and how they were chosen without any competitive proposals to be the recipient of over $1 million in township funds for the project. Over $1 million. That's real money. I tried to find out an answer to that question through an Oprah request. to which I was denied and forced to file a complaint with the New Jersey Government Records Council. That case is being actively adjudicated as we speak. In regards to council members having a hand in this decision, at a recent public meeting at the Lawrence Library, Councilman Bobbitt and Knackett were asked about RPM and their involvement. The audience was told by them that it was a zoning board decision, shrugged their shoulders, and moved on to the next question. I did some research on their answer. Not only did they vote in favor to give the developer over $1 million without competitive proposals, but they also voted on 12 other council resolutions in support of RPM. 12, all well before the zoning board gave their final approval. Facts are facts, and residents raising these legitimate questions at council meetings get met with the same thing every time. Council silence and a shrug of the shoulders. There's a problem in this town with land use decisions, and this council is in denial. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Khalidi. Okay, I'll wait for it.
My name is Tom Ritter. I live in the Colonial Lakelands, and I'm a member of the Friends of Colonial Lake Park group. I just want to thank the manager and town council and mayor for supporting Colonial Lake Park, the Friends of Colonial Lake Park, the local neighborhoods, and the larger Lawrence community for drafting and passing Resolution 146-25 in opposition to the ELSA sewer line path going through the park. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you. Thank you guys for taking the time today, listen. I do appreciate it. Today you're being asked to vote on the RPM, or to at least endorse the RPM DEP application. The crux of the DEP application is the stormwater site management plan.
I'm sorry, could you just state your name and spell?
Steve Butler. The crux of their application is the stormwater management plan. That's basically what they hang their hat on, that's their calculations. They have two of them. Their preliminary application, which was April of 2020, had cubic foot per second of 6.5. Their updated stormwater management plan, existing conditions, existing stormwater runoff was increased to 7.9. I'm rounding the numbers off, they go off to the 1,000. The existing conditions on the site have not changed. We all know nothing's been done on this site. But what they have done is redesigned the stormwater detention systems. They initially had that open stormwater detention system with the park in it. And then when there was the concern over the sewage and the waste getting in there, they went to a covered system, which retains less water, right? We all know that, retain less water. So what did they do? It seems that on their DEP application, on their stormwater plan, they increased the runoff volume to meet the required percentages. Right? They have to reduce this by 50%. So on the old application, which is the existing condition that's out there today, hasn't changed. Go to Google Earth yourself, I did it this morning. Okay, the 6.564 runoff would have to meet 3.2 cubic feet per second in runoff with the detention. On the new, it's 3.9. So what did they do? They increased the runoff to 7.9 cubic feet per second, and now indicate 3.8, saying that they're in compliance. The fact is, when you look at the DEP application, something is wrong. Something is wrong. And you're being asked by this developer to go ahead and endorse this plan today. I don't think you guys can vote on this. I don't think you should endorse this DEP application. until the township engineer has a chance to go back, look at what the changes were. Maybe they're legitimate, I don't know. I'm not an engineer looking at this. I just looked at the charts, I looked at the numbers, I looked at the existing conditions, which did change according to their report, but not according to what you see in satellite photos. I don't think you guys should be voting on this. I think you're being pressured to endorse a shitty application from what quite frankly is a very questionable development from very questionable means of getting it approved. Thank you.
Any other comment?
I do have these reports if you would like. Yeah. I mean, I put my handwriting there so you could see A, B, C. Gives you basically, so you could understand what the percentages are. Any comments or
Not at this time. No,
nothing?
we're gonna let,
Okay.
the additional comments, address.
Good evening, my name is Ken Kieran from Kingsborough Road. I'm not going to talk about the archive facility or anything that's going on there. I just want to remind all town council, and I'm upset that Mr. Ryan couldn't be here, although he was in the parking lot right before the meeting. Don't understand how he can't show up again for another meeting. But town council is responsible to support and help 33,000 plus or minus residents. And from what I have seen in the last 8 council meetings is at least one town councilman, Mr. Ryan, listening to a special interest. And then I hear today about the dollars that are spent from Mr. Politi, about $1 million, yet he was responsible while he was on town council for Heritage Village. That was sold at a $500,000 plus loss to Mayor Palmer's wife for development while he was on town council. He was also responsible for not allowing the Capital Health Systems to come to the township and the residents to ask if we wanted a hospital here. Yet he wants you to believe that Kevin and this council is being irresponsible. Yet we have a surplus over the last 8 years while Kevin was township manager. We didn't have that while he was here. You are responsible to support all of us, not just special interests. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. You are correct. I did say this is tax day, right? Okay.
We have till 11:59.
I'm Dr. Lizardo. Sorry, Ramon Lizardo. Yeah, listen, I wasn't gonna speak today, but I was disturbed by something that just happened. Listen, we've come a long way as a community, as a council. Because I remember my first few meetings here and what it looked like, and you guys are shaking your head because of the shame of what was happening in those meetings. And we've grown and matured in so many ways. We've gotten to know our neighbors. We've turned over a bit of the council and we've gotten to know our council members. And it's been good. Honestly, to an extent, it's been really, really good. I haven't been here like a year, and but I would always watch online, and honestly, I appreciate some of the things you guys have done, including not raising taxes and treating the budget with utmost respect and that level of scrutiny. The fact that we have someone on council with a financial background is key to those wins. And if I could just remind everyone on this, like this is the first time I'm hearing about the RPM. And I'll look into it, and I'm under the assumption that the council has thoroughly vetted that process. And if we over it, we should be able to see that. But Kornacki, I want you to know, you're probably one of the people that I respect the most up there because you serve. And it's something that I mean, you were willing to take a bullet for me to be able to speak here today. But at the same time, when someone from the public speaks, your words exactly were, I can't believe you said that. This is a grown adult, not a kid, not your son. And it was instances like this that basically derailed the beginning where I was coming from when I started coming to these council meetings. But again, my respect for you stays. Just from the council's perspective, maybe this is an opportunity to say, hey, like a resident is bringing this up. Most of us didn't even know about it, right? Let's just take a look at it. And then if one of the council members said, hey, Kevin effed up, great, you know, whatever was said, maybe was recorded, bring it up, we'll hold them accountable to it. But he expressed what he thought, and it wasn't what he said, right? And I think we just need to treat every resident with respect. One last thing, and I promise I'll be brief on this. So I know there was supposed to be a public safety meeting today, and I'm glad that there wasn't, because actually it gives extra time. The reason why we're going through this process in particular, including the subcommittee, was because when we did the fire studies with the Riders Group and the Cottage Group and the Oprah, we realized that multiple executives were on one company and the same executives were at another. The town decided to exchange money with both entities without vetting that. But now we know we have a trusted council and a trusted subcommittee, who I'm assuming is going to do their diligence with every one of these companies that are coming across and looking to see if those are the same executives at those same companies. So I just came here with a piece of paper with all the senior executives that were involved in the first 3 studies to pass on to Olympia so she can make sure during this time process to review some of those executives. I know you guys are still in the RFP process, and I trust the diligence that's happening there. Thank you. Sorry.
Doctor, I'll respond to you. 16 years I served on this council. I never heard anybody come up and use the F word.
Yeah.
Never. I'm from the school. You use the word, I'm going to correct you. I said what I wanted to Eric, and it's over with. It's done. I said, because I'm defending Chris Bobbick for not being here, Chris would have responded. So it was up to me to respond. That's the school I'm from, and I will always be like that.
Yeah, listen.
Okay? I understand what you're saying,
Yeah, so-
but I have to speak up.
Great, and listen, that's okay if that's how you want to carry yourself across. But I want to let you know, that's how we all ended up here. When the residents were speaking up and felt disrespected. He basically said, this is what Bobbitt said. You decided to step in, not him.
That's correct.
This is what Bobbitt said.
But you know what?
And I
But
said,
that's not appropriate in
Can I
this.
just-
Oh, should you say, should it say? No,
It's also
absolutely not.
hearsay. It's
But
hearsay.
I'm only responding because Chris ain't here to respond, because like I said to Eric, I would have asked Chris straight out right now, did he say it?
Okay, but it's hearsay.
All right,
because-
I'm done. I understand what you're saying.
Listen,
Thank you.
The respect between you and I stays. That doesn't change. All I'm asking, when people speak,
Mhm.
take the time to listen and treat them with the same respect.
I listen.
Thank you.
Time's up.
Time's up, okay.
Madam Mayor, can I-
Yes.
Are you gonna go?
Go ahead, Council.
You're gonna go.
Yes. I just want to, give up some information about the RPM. Okay.
There's somebody else.
Yes.
Hi, Kathy Burkhardt, West Long Drive. I just want to say a couple words about the Johnson Trolley Trail Plan. I don't know if anybody else has completed the survey about that, which has been made available online at least twice that I know of. The survey talks about what do you want to do above 295 and what do you want to do past Ryder. There's a little chunk in the middle that seems to be a done deal, which is where the original Johnson Trolley tracks were. And I want to object to the plan that the trail is going to go through where the original tracks were. I know intimately about that part of the trail, proposed trail, because my backyard backs onto the new proposed trail. I think there are a number of environmental and safety concerns that have not been taken into account. And I have been writing in the survey about, I would like the trail to go wherever in the north and wherever in the south. But I'd like to propose that the trail not have a new bridge built over 295 and down the original Johnson Trolley Trail, but which is a populated area on West Long and a populated area in Ryder. I think it would be a far better plan to have the trail follow down the high tension wire path, which is an area that is not an environmentally delicate area. It's an already staked out place. There are trails in other places in Maryland, I know one for sure, that follow under the high tension wires. And it's lovely and it doesn't disturb anyone. And I just like to put my 2 cents in that it shouldn't be a done deal that the trail is railroaded through the original spot. So that's all. Thanks.
Thank you for your comments. That is still a work in progress.
I hope. It seems like a done deal, but
Seeing no additional public comments at this time, we will close public participation. Just want to make one quick statement regarding the RPM. What we have here before us tonight for council is only a resolution which says that Lawrence Township is supporting the application for the connection to the sanitary sewer system. It does not give RPM the authority to move forward with the project and put any shovels in the ground. So what we're looking to do today is only to support the sewer portion of that. Councilwoman, Mary would also like to add some comments, I believe.
So it is very good that we have this process that everyone can come up and speak their mind. And also, as new council members, we are exposed to what has gone on in the past, but most importantly, we respectfully listen to everyone's opinion. The challenge that I have within myself is this. We were not part of the situation, but we are here to go forward to make sure that we make the best decisions. Now, those that were in the township prior to this, just so you understand the process, this went before the zoning board. We are not involved with the zoning board simply to keep separation of church and state. When this was approved with the zoning board, no challenge or appeal was filed. That was the time that the township, the residents, should have stepped up to do something. Now, that being said, I'm not saying anyone missed the ball or anything else, but this is the process. I want everyone to understand that. We are following a process because we are led by the process in our bylaws. So it went before the zoning board, it was not appealed. Our prior predecessors approved the next step. What we're doing now is we have no jurisdiction over ELSA or the DEP for this to move forward. I want that to be clear. If they authorize, according to their standards, what should happen, we're a municipality, we're not a state authority. They have the authority. So I want everyone to know that we are following the guidelines according to a higher power. That also being said, we always want to engage in conversation. That's how things get done. That's what's important for our residents, to bring forward their concerns so that we can move forward in your best interest without conflict or any shenanigans, as everyone tries to say. Because one thing you should have learned by now, we are no nonsense. This is not about me, the mayor, or anyone up here. It's about all of you. We have to make sure the town is safe, that it is following the rules. And don't forget, we have come about with no increase. We have hired 3 additional firefighters, 3 additional police officers. Our primary duty as council is the budget. And that is moving forward, thank God, in good order. So we will continue to listen to you and act accordingly. And we thank you for your support. But I wanted you to make sure you knew what the process was. We may not agree with the process. Most of this happened before I was here. But when I took that oath, I have to abide by a process. All of us do. Thank you.
Any other comments? I would just, agree with Councilwoman Perry's sentiment. Your comments are important to us. And as we move forward in our decision making, we take that into consideration. But it is, the truth of the matter is that we are not ELSA and we're not the DEP. So, and there are laws that we have to abide by. So that's the truth. Okay. Anything else on this matter? Okay, we can close that out. All right. Review the revision of the agenda. I guess we've done some reviewing and changes.
There's one more, right?
There's one more change? Okay,
Madam Clerk?
Yes, we're gonna add a resolution, to add, Ms. Pamela Fleming to the DEI committee. And then we just had a little small revision to 18F1. It was just a typo in the account number. That's all.
All right. Thank you. And with that, this brings us now to the adoption of minutes.
Now we have to move,
Oh, I'm sorry.
move it second.
Yes.
I will move to add Ms. Tamara Fleming to the DEI committee. Do I have a second?
The agenda.
To the agenda, excuse me.
Well, you also have the resolution, the corrective resolution to add. You can do it in one you can do it in one motion.
One
Is your
motion.
motion?
Okay, so I move to add the revisions to the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second?
Madam Clerk, will you call the roll?
Mr. Bobbitt?
Not here.
I'm sorry, that's my fault. Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Ms. Perry,
Yes,
Mayor Parma.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
And the second motion?
I did both of
Oh,
them.
you vote? Okay, perfect. All right.
Now,
Now brings us to the adoption of minutes. Do you have a motion?
I would like to make a motion to adopt the minutes from regular meeting January 7th, 2025. Do I have a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll, please.
Mr. Kamaki?
Yes.
Ms. Perry?
Yes.
Mayor Farmer?
Yes. Okay, and now we have the bids and
Awarding.
awarding of bids, yes.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, please do so.
I would like to make a motion to adopt resolution bid number 166, authorizing award of bid to Civilio Nicolo, painting and remodeling for the rehabilitation of 50 Merit Drive. May I have-
Second.
You have a second?
Yes.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll, please.
Did the manager?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's a
Oh,
part of our
there
affordable housing rehabilitation program.
Okay.
And then public.
Any public comment?
On number 166?
Seeing none? Madam Clerk, you can call the roll, please.
Mr. Kamaki?
Yes.
Ms. Perry?
Yes.
Mayor Farmer?
Yes. Now for the introduction of ordinances.
Madam Mayor, I would like to introduce ordinance number 249125, ordinance amending ordinance number 2084-11, amending Chapter 15, Article 1 of the Lawrence Township Administrative Code entitled Growth and Redevelopment Committee, addition of student representative. May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay. No discussion? Okay. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Mr. Bob, I'm sorry. I'm losing my mind. Mr. Kamaki?
Yes.
Ms. Perry?
Yes.
Mayor Farmer?
Yes.
He should be first.
Okay. Now for the adoption of ordinance, we've done that. Okay. Manager's report.
I have nothing today.
Okay. The attorney's report.
I have a matter that we will need to discuss in closed session. Mayor?
Thank you. And Madam Clerk, your report for this evening?
Just a few things. Financial disclosures are due April 30th. Okay, just a reminder. Tomorrow is the deadline for anyone who wants to do a change of their party affiliation for the primary election. The 19th, the mail-in ballots will start to go out. May 20th will be the deadline for voters registration. I know I'm a little ahead of the game here, but, okay. And we just received the 2025 to 26 license renewal, which we will start to get that ready for the new year, the ABC license, alcohol beverage. And that's about it.
And then for unfinished business, okay, we've already voted for Ms. Fleming, right? Okay, so we need to address it there. Okay? Under unfinished business. It's unfinished, it was on a previous agenda. So,
Madam Mayor, I would like to make a motion to add Tamala Fleming to the DEI committee.
Well, you already added her, so she's gonna just be the resolution number 6,
6.
18H6.
18.
When we amended.
Okay,
So she's gonna be under there
Okay.
okay,
when you do resolutions.
thank you. Okay. Then moving on, new business. None, seeing none? Okay. This is our second opportunity for public participation, 3 minutes.
Three minutes.
I won't use all 3 minutes, don't worry. My understanding is for the closed session, are we allowed to know the address or location of the potential land sale?
Not yet.
Okay. Thank you.
just wanted to make it clear when I came up here earlier, right? I understand you're not approving the job or you're not approving the DEP, and you have to defer to that. What this developer's asked of you guys tonight is to authorize the mayor to sign off and endorse that application. Am I correct in saying that?
Well,
Yeah.
no. What is happening is the resolution is to allow the application to move forward to the ELSA board and to the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. It's not endorsing the.
Not endorsement, but permitting the application.
It's
to be
permitting,
sent.
in essence, under the statute, it's permitting the application to move forward for review by the professionals at ELSA and professionals at NJDEP. This board is, this council is not giving any opinion as to the validity or any issues with regard to those stormwater management issues that you brought up, which may be perfectly valid.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but, I mean, we do have a township engineer.
No, but he does not, at this point, the process is such that it has to go to ELSA and DEP for review. And
If you don't mind.
Sure.
Our municipal engineer has reviewed this paperwork, and it's the reason why it's on the agenda tonight as a resolution. If he had any problems with it, it wouldn't be on the agenda as a recommendation for you to vote on. So that there was an internal process conducted by our municipal engineer who reviewed it because he's the one that's qualified to do it. And that's, I think we're just complying with the land use law and what our obligations are as a township.
And if I may, he reviewed that based on the information presented. And when the information presented of existing conditions, which has not changed, has been updated, that would be a red flag. That would be something that maybe we just want to postpone this, give him another chance, and then you guys can talk about it tomorrow or another meeting. That's all I'm asking. Just push the vote tonight so you have an opportunity to look over what concerns are. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to, it's Ken Kieran again, I just wanted to make one quick thing. As far as you stated that your sole responsibility is the budget, but the budget is just an avenue of your responsibility for the representation of the township. And that the budget is the vehicle to present and pass
And that's
for our
correct.
safety.
It was Councilwoman Perry. I mean, although I agree, the budget is the main
Can I finish?
focus. I'm just correcting you. It wasn't me who
Okay,
made that comment.
While you're relating, can I finish?
Yeah, so I'm just letting you know. So you addressed it properly to Councilwoman.
Thank you. But the budget is an avenue. It's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is for the safety and for again, for the representation of the residents here. The budget is just a vehicle for that support. Thank you.
Seeing no additional comments, we are going to close out the 3 minutes public participation. Moving on to resolutions. We have refunds on the agenda.
Madam Mayor, may I make a move resolution 18D, 1 and 2. Number 167, authorizing the refund of denied bingo license. And number 2, resolution number 168, authorizing recreation fee refunds. May I have a motion?
Do you have a second?
Second.
Are you not moving in a block? Are you moving separately?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. Just want to know, sorry.
And then
Madam Clerk.
You're good to go.
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Ms. Berry,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes. Special items to review. Okay, this brings us now to professional services agreements.
Madam Mayor, I would like to move in a block F1 through F4, Resolution 169 through 172, under professional service agreements.
Second.
Any additional comments, Mr. Nowinski?
No.
No, okay. Seeing none, okay, Madam Clerk, you can call the roll, please.
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Ms. Berry,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer. Mayor Farmer.
Yes. Okay, under grants, we have miscellaneous. Do you have a motion?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to move Resolution H, miscellaneous, Resolution 173 through 177, or should we make H6 178?
Yes, you have to do
Yes.
178, yes.
I would like to move resolution under miscellaneous, Resolution H miscellaneous, Resolution 177 through 178 in the block,
173.
173 through 178.
Second.
For discussion, can I, if I could ask the manager a question? With the discussions that we're having this evening with regards to RPM, and in the resolution with ELSA and New Jersey DEP, I know that the public is very concerned about the project for various reasons. Is there a possibility that ELSA or NJDP could come back and say that there is something
Sure.
that is not proper
I will
with
tell
the
you that,
project?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I will tell you that the engineers, our engineer's job is to review the application and provide recommendations to the governing body.
Mhm.
The review of the technical aspects of the application are done both by ELSA, but primarily the New Jersey DEP.
Mhm.
So we can certainly take the concerns that were represented by one of the speakers
Mhm.
and make a note of it to go along with the application to have the DEP focus on that.
Okay,
I mean, I don't think that there's a problem with doing that.
okay.
No.
So we could add some additional language to that. Okay.
Well, you're not going to,
Or,
No, there's no adding to the resolution, but what we could do is, with the approved resolution, we could ask our engineer to review this meeting
Mhm.
and the comments made by the individual who expressed some technical aspects that are beyond me. And we can ask him to highlight that, to make that a part of a scrutiny process for the DEP.
okay, thank you.
Madam Mayor, do
Yes.
you have the paperwork that was submitted?
Yes, on the actual resolution?
Yes. From the gentleman in the
Oh,
audience,
yes,
Yeah, I get that.
I do have that as well, yes.
so we would forward that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the other two charts.
We have this one, these two here, we're doing them already.
Okay, good.
And also, we'll need to review this, because this is the first time that we're seeing this. So, okay. So thank you,
Yep.
okay. All right, with that, Madam Clerk, unless there's any other discussion on any other items? Okay, Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Okay. And we did have someone move in a second. right?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Ms. Berry,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes. Okay. Now this brings us to council initiatives and liaison reports. Do you have any?
Just a reminder, as Melissa Clark mentioned, the Growth and Redevelopment Committee is having a business networking event on April 30th at the library from 5:45 to 7:30. We do have guest speakers coming from the Mercer County Economic Development. The director, Anthony Carabelli, will be speaking, and some other guests also. Just check the website for further details.
All right, and also, I would just like to add, on behalf of the mayor's task force, that, May 13th at 6:30 p.m. at Lawrence High School. There will be a community meeting with regards to the Lawrence Community Center, and we encourage all of the residents to come and attend that and have your voices heard. And also, there is a flyer that will be at the back of the room with the code that also includes the survey. That is a very good looking survey, if I say so myself, that would give you an opportunity to give some input, which I personally value tremendously. I know the council does as well. So, anything else with regards to our reports? No? Okay. Now, this brings us to written communication. I just want to, if I could just publicly acknowledge our council reporter, Ms. Leah Khan, for the wonderful article that you wrote on the Louisville Road marker. That was a really nice article, and I just want to personally thank you on behalf of the committee on a very nice job done. If members of the audience haven't read it, the Lawrence Ledger did a very nice piece on the Louisville Road marker, so I encourage you. With written communication, we also have received a letter regarding lupus month. And I'll just read the first paragraph. Dear Mayor Patricia Farmer, May is National Lupus Awareness Month. This month provides a great opportunity for the township and Lawrence to educate the community on the devastating illness. Each May, the entire lupus community comes together to raise awareness by wearing purple, telling their stories, and encouraging others to join the fight against this devastating disease. So I just wanted to share part of the letter that we received from Ms. Sharifa Keith, who is the founder of Love Us Together, New Jersey nonprofit here in Lawrenceville, New Jersey. Any other additional written communication?
Ms. Keith, now she is asking for a proclamation,
Okay.
that she wanted, that like we did last year for her. And also, a ribbon cutting that she would like to be done on May 3rd, if the council is in agreement with, but that would be something you have to discuss and let me know.
Okay, thank you. I will read further down the letter
All right.
and get back to Ms. Keith. I did participate last year in her event, and she does a wonderful job of bringing awareness to lupus, which affects many people in New Jersey. Okay.
Madam Mayor, I'm sorry, are you on communications?
Yes.
Yes.
I have a communication that I think has to be read, hand delivered to me earlier today, addressed to me and to the clerk. I have a copy for the clerk. Due to my ongoing medical conditions, I am resigning from council effective immediately, along with all boards and committees. I'm turning in my key and computers to our township attorney, Arthur Sipek. If I have to sign any pertinent paperwork, please send it to my residence. Thank you. Regards, John T. Ryan. I have a clerk's copy here.
It is with deep sadness, it is with deep sadness to hear of that letter and that our fellow councilman is resigning. Okay, thank you, Mr. Sipek. Okay, with that, we now need a motion for executive session.
The executive session will deal with personnel and possible land, real estate matters involving the township.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, with that, we thank you, members of the public, for coming out this evening. Thank you for your participation.